Hello, Bigfoot enthusiast. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah, a really, really tired domestic goddess, chief cook, and doggy mom in the paddy wagon. Y'all are lucky she's even sitting in her chair because she wants to be in the bedroom, which is that way.
Yeah, we did. We got set up for the show this weekend, and we just got done with the show last weekend. So we're kind of, but
setting up for this show is really hard because there's a lot of heavy lifting involved.
All right. So, hi,
Anyway.
Squatch and Cowboy.
Famous people: David, Patty, Michelle, Donna.
The usual suspects. All
Peanut
right.
gallery's filling up. Why don't you play the introduction?
Why don't we get into this, huh? I got to push the right buttons. All right, so the dog's going kind of ape in the background because there's people walking around the campground.
And we have not been with her all day. Before we get started, I want to talk to our Patreons who are on really quickly. We were so excited about First Friday starting that we forgot to consider that the first Friday in February and in March, we would be doing shows like, live shows. And so we are in an internet hole right now. Y'all really are lucky that you're seeing this, and we're kind of crossing our fingers that our data stream stays good. But because of the poor internet, and because we're going to be live at our show, our in-person show tomorrow till after 9 p.m., we are going to postpone First Friday to First Tuesday. So watch your Patreon messages. We will have a First Tuesday with a guest live in our studio for y'all to join on Tuesday night, 5 p.m.
There we go. Okay. And if we get abruptly cut off, we'll try to jump back on. We have really bad internet and it's kind of iffy. Hi, Dale, Donna. Let's see. William.
Facebook user. Hello. We don't see your name there.
And Tracy. So tonight we're going to be talking about last week we were at Squatch Fest, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff we learned. Now, here's the cool thing about these shows we do. It's not that we're in the shows and we're speaking and we're selling merch and we're talking to people.
We're doing all that.
We're doing all that. But one of the greatest things that happens at these shows that we go to is people come to the booth and share their stories with us.
That's the best part.
And a lot of them end up with pictures and evidence and all sorts of cool stuff, and we're going to be talking about that tonight.
We've got some cool new stuff for you tonight too. Hey, we got Flat Rock and David that have joined us. Welcome. Please, if you there are 18 of you in the chat, so please like button, subscribe, bell notifications, do all those YouTube things. You guys have been great. And we have, Pyro. By the way, we have surpassed 2,300 subscribers. So thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. So shall we get into this? Let's get into this. Okay. So we were at Squatch Fest in Kelso, Washington last weekend. We were with our good friends, Cliff Barrickman, Shane Corson, Dr. Jeff, Mark Marcel, Kathy Strain, and actually there was one that kind of a last minute arrival was Ken Gerhardt, if you know him. Anyway, he showed up, and so it was kind of a lot of footage.
Let's see if Have fun at work, Dale. Pop back in when you can.
So we loaded up the truck, we headed to Kelso, and we parked at a really cool little campground right there in Kelso.
We want to shout out the Brook Hollow RV Park.
Yep.
In Kelso, Washington. If you are ever RVing through the Kelso, Washington area, make sure they are not sponsoring this, but it really was a very nice little park. And no offense to anyone, but my understanding is that there are no children allowed.
Yeah. So it's a 55 plus only.
Or a no children park.
So we went and set up. They had some pretty cool booths and stuff there. at the Kelso thing. We're going to kind of ramble through this pretty quick because we don't know how long our internet's going to last. But so we set up on Friday, right?
Friday. We
And the
set
thing
up
was,
on Friday.
and
It
the
was a
thing,
Saturday, Sunday. No, we set up on Thursday. Set up on Thursday. It was a Friday, Saturday deal.
Friday, Saturday deal. Yep. So that was kind of fun. And opening day, it was like freaking standing. There was a line
All the way around the event center.
all the way around the event center to get in. Literally thousands of people show up to this thing. It's one of the biggest Bigfoot fests in the nation.
Especially in the Pacific Northwest. This is, I think, their 7th year.
Yeah.
They had a couple, of course, 2020, 2021 were a little sketchy. 2022 was still a little unsure, but this year they were back in full force.
Back in full force. Yep. So they had a kids.
Shout out to Julie Reinert, who you see there.
This is Julie.
Yep, she is the organizer of the whole thing. Can I just say, do we have a chance to say this is like the best organized event we have ever been part of? Julie, if you're listening, you did such a good job. I mean, everything was totally taken care of. We got goodie bags.
Yeah.
Galore.
And speaking of which,
look, we got a new tippy cup.
We got a tippy cup
that was in our goodie bag.
Yep. So, but here's another cool thing about these fests is we had somebody went to one of the booths and bought a gift, and the booth people brought it over to us and said, "Hey, this is an anonymous donor," and they dropped this off for me. It's pretty cool. It's called Odd Moss. It's from the Zayden Zephyr company. There's a link below, but I got this
beard balm,
and also there was some beard oil, and they have these colognes for men, and they have Yeti, and I think that's Nessie, and their logo's a Bigfoot. It's a lot of fun. Almost everything there was logoed Bigfoot,
and it was all for his beard and his manly scent.
Yes.
Except, and I didn't take it out of my purse. I nabbed the lip balm. It came with some some chapstick too.
Yep.
And women, drop it in the chat if you have 4 lip balms in your purse and 5 in your pockets. How many do you have on your person at any given time?
None. 0. There we go.
So I can always use more beard or more lip balm.
Then we have this guy. Oh, I don't want to. That's his. Too late now. Anyway, this is Bigfoot chili mix.
We're having that for dinner later tonight.
Yeah, sure. It's empty. He already dumped it out. But anyway,
I actually took footage and made a little Patty Wagon kitchen video making that.
So he has a chili mix and also rubs. That's really good from the Bigfoot Chili Company.
And we also got another gift.
We got a bottle of wine.
Bigfoot Vino. Yeah,
it's called Big Believer wine from a wine company called Portlandia.
Go
figure. But it's Cabernet Sauvignon, and that link's in there too. So
do I need to promise I won't pour that in the chili?
Yeah, no. You can pour it in the chili. Anyway, so that
okay.
There's a cool thing. So that was kind of the gifts we got from people.
I love it. Joe said my granddaughter has about 37 flavors of chapstick in her backpack. She probably never has any to actually use because you never have it with you when you need it. So you cannot have too much chapstick. Anyway, this was everything, honestly, except they got to the speakers started a little late on Friday because there were so many people, they could not get people in the door fast enough to get the speakers going on time. But other than that, everything ran like total clockwork. They took such good care of us.
So the speakers on the first day were running a little late for 2 reasons. One, there were people getting in, and 2, Jeff Meldrum was the first one to speak, and he always runs long.
Yeah.
Always. So if you ever have him at an event, just remember he's going to be long.
Do him last.
Yeah. So we all had our booth set up. There's Ken Gerhardt right there.
with the hat.
with the hat. And there was us at our booth, and then Cliff and Jeff, and that's Mark Marcel.
He gives the best bear hugs on the planet.
Yeah.
Just so you
Plus,
know.
he's about
He's
6'8".
Yeah, he's bigger than you are.
Yeah. So the first night we opened up, we had a great kind of opening night session where we all got up on stage and people asked us questions and we answered them. And
Ken looks like a deer in the headlights there.
He kind of does. Yeah, it was funny. Jeff talked a lot, but that's Jeff.
That's what Jeff does. Looks like you and Shane are having a little convo there.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see any of them because I was stuck in the booth the entire time.
Yep. So we answered some questions, and that was a lot of fun. And then the next day we had the speakers. We had an hour each. Jeff talked about feet.
That's what Jeff does.
And oh, did I have his book over here?
Oh,
I don't know what happened to it.
Oh, honestly, we are so.
Is that it right there?
No, it's not.
Oh,
it's not.
Anyway, but if you don't know Mark Marcel, he is the one who found the famous cabin at Ape Canyon on Mount St. Helens. And what was really cool is while he was speaking, he had his little book, and I got a signed copy of it here somewhere. Anyway, talking about it has all the interesting.
Oh, you mean Mark's book?
Mark's book, but he had
he was funny about that too.
Yeah, but he has all the clippings from the news clippings and stuff that he searched until he found a news clipping that actually had a photo of the mountain behind the cabin, and he was able to go hike through the mountains and find that. That's how he found it. So anyway, but what was really cool is while he was speaking, he had a granddaughter of one of the original guys that were in the cabin come up on stage and talk to. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But what was really kind of fun is, like, this is when I was speaking on stage. They said what, about 800, 900 people in here.
They put 800 people in that room, and look, there's almost standing room only.
Yeah. So
I'm counting like 5 seats left in that shot.
Yeah.
Maybe 6.
Yeah. So it was packed.
And the exhibit hall where the vendors was just constant. I took one break, if you call it a break, on Saturday to go get us lunch, and there were so many people there that the food trucks were just besieged, and it took me about an hour to get lunch for you.
Yeah. So
anyway,
it was a lot of fun though. A lot of people. Oh my gosh, it was a lot of people. But here's the cool thing.
We met some people.
We met an awesome dude, came up and introduced himself to her at our table and said hi. And I'm like,
I
fangirled and said, I need to get a picture with you. So this gentleman, we got a picture with him. His name's Joe Beelart. And if you don't know who Joe is, he co-wrote this little book called The Oregon Bigfoot Highway.
If you haven't read this book, you need to. This is probably the quintessential, most comprehensive collection of Bigfoot encounters on Highway 26 in Oregon.
Mm-hmm. It's like the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, we've had Christy Sanders, our researcher in the Portland area. She's been on a few times, and this is what she goes by. This is how she plans her camping trips.
Yeah,
so
it is around all this stuff, and we went camping with her. It's been 3-4 years ago.
It's been a while.
It
was I think it was the year of the. It was the year of the 2020. It was 2020 because we camped with her when we were coming back from Florence.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, so that's I'm trying to catch up on chat.
They're talking to each other. I don't think they're listening to us at all. Okay. Cowboy, you're not listening to us at all, are you?
That's all right.
You know we still love you. But
yeah. Anyway. So anyway, we actually found one of the locations in that book. It was a hand drawing of a stump. We found the stump. It was a lot of fun, and we actually found footprints that day too. up there. So it's the Bigfoot Highway is Highway 26 out of Estacada, Oregon, and it is one of the squatchiest places on the planet.
Yeah.
Just to be honest.
Before you continue, Donna wanted to know if Jeff would ever consider being a guest on the show.
I'll have to ask him. We'll find out.
Yeah,
he does them. I know. I've seen him on other people's show. He did a show for us. I mean, he came to a conference that we set up once. Just okay.
So we'll ask him. Scott and Hannah, this is Cowboy's question. Have y'all heard about having a permit to film in a national park?
Yes.
Okay, so let me tell you what I know about this because I researched.
We've run into this, and another thing, I've got in trouble for using a drone. You're not allowed to use drones.
Yeah,
in
but
national parks.
As far as filming in a national park, if your film crew is over 10. If you're going in with your phone and filming stuff, your camcorder, I love you, Joe. My understanding is, after the research I've done, is if you are going with an actual film crew and your cast is more than 10 people, then yes, you have to have a permit. If you're going in for your personal stuff, what are they going to do? Tackle every tourist that comes in with an iPhone?
Yeah.
So that's what I understand. We are constantly researching this. And just so you know, that legislation is being challenged in court. And it's been a thing for years. And it's gone through circuit courts and appellate courts, and people are fighting it. And
yeah.
So,
but I don't know where it stands right now. I've heard both sides of it. But if you have a crew of less than 10, as far as I understand, it's okay. So
don't quote us. Do your research. Melissa, I got this hat at a pot shop in Baker City, Oregon. Not going to lie. That's exactly where I got it. And I got it in 2015. I remember that.
Yeah.
I got it right after I ditched my glasses and went to contacts for 3 weeks. And then
Okay. So there's that.
And Melissa, I'm in love with my hat too because I love dragonflies. Did you know? So because Melissa is asking about my hat. So dragonflies are awesome. They are an archetype of sustained transformation. It takes them a long time to go through their metamorphosis, but then they also live way longer than a butterfly. 2, dragonflies are males. Damselflies are females. Dragonflies eat on the run. Damselflies land and they fold their wings up neatly to eat. And finally, a damselfly, will play dead to avoid any sexual encounters with males that she doesn't like. So there you go. Has nothing to do with Bigfoot, but you did ask about my hat, so there we are.
Fun fact. All right, so I want to get into some of the stuff people brought to the booth. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we got some great stuff.
So first of all was this photo here. Let's see if I can get it to go. There we go. You can kind of see the Squatch in the center there. I actually circled it so you can see it. That's how Bigfoot pictures work.
Blob Squatch.
Yeah. But there was a creature there. I'm not sure if it was standing up or not. The guy had several photos, so it did move in the photos.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Then the next one, and I was hoping Renee.
She's not on.
And Michael.
Renee is probably at a basketball game for grandkids.
Well, anyway, I need to get a hold of Renee and Michael. And the reason why, we had a gal stop by the booth. She texted me these pictures here of this structure. And one other picture, which I'm not going to show right now because I need to get either Michael or Renee to drive out to this location. I've got a pin on the map for them, and I'm going to talk with them to see, because it's close to them in their area. Because the third picture had, I don't know, I'm going to put it this way. It's either the greatest find in Bigfoot history or it's a huge nothing burger. The reason why,
we're going to assume it's a nothing burger until we know
positively, but I need them to go out there and find what was laying next to this
and collect it so that we can actually analyze it,
because I don't know the dimensions, If it's, well, let me put it, if it's this big, it's awesome. If it's this big, it's a nothing burger. So, so
Hey, William, you owe the swear jar now.
yeah,
The swear jar is open for
yeah.
donations.
And by the way,
It's at our booth right now.
so
So
we want to thank you. We added out at the festival too. The money we're collecting in the swear jar is going to help us
with our rooftop
with our
tent.
rooftop tent that
So
we're working on.
yeah, just remember that YouTube will demonetize us for swearing, and so please make your donations to the swear jar.
So, at our last video, we talked about with Shane Corson, if you remember correct. Shane's part of the Olympic project, and they have these big nests that they found. Well, Shane talked about finding a set of rocks that he thought was clacked together in one of the nests. It was just two rocks inside the nest, that the only rocks that were above ground. So he asked if I could take a look at him, and he brought him with him to the Squatch Fest. And here's the rocks. And what's really interesting, if you pick up rocks, a lot of times people, if they're going to use a rock for a hammer, you will find the right rock. You will. Well, it'll fit your hand, and it has to have a flat edge. These two rocks fit in your hands just perfectly, and you can clack them together, and they have been clacked together too. So if you look on this rock here, there's scoring that came from this rock.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It and see them in real life, you can really, yeah, you can tell that there is a color of this rock that is sloughed off onto this rock, and then there's scratches and stuff in these. So these were definitely clacked together. To give you an idea about the nests, and we've never showed these because I never had photos of them before. But thank
you, William.
Thank you, William. We should do the thank you thing.
Where is the thank you thing?
It's right here. All right. Okay. Thanks, William. All right.
Just remember, you don't have to type it into the chat to donate if you feel like swearing. If you once swore, if you're anti-swearing, please donate to the cuss jar.
There we go. So anyway, thank you very much. So
I was cussing a lot by the end of the day, by the end of setup today. I probably owe our quick cuss jar
you do
at this point.
Anyway, so to give you an idea of these nests, here is this isn't an actual nest. This is a replica that they recreated to put into Cliff's museum.
And it's a replica of
the Shane Corson's nest.
An Olympic project.
Of nest. The Olympic project, yeah. So anyway, these nests they found, oh, I can't remember. I'm guessing 9, a lot of them. And he had a little map layout too with pins in it to show where all these nests were.
So that is definitely a nest. It is not a structure.
Right. And what this is made out of
huckleberries.
Huckleberries. The huckleberries are pulled out of the ground and they're woven together in a very tight weave. They actually recreated this. It took them, I don't know, forever. And he said this one's not even, it's probably 2/3 the size of the original ones they found. So that's what they look like. And they're woven together on the ground. And they actually, I was talking with Shane on this because his booth was right next to ours. So we had some time to hang out once in a while when everybody was in talking or watching the other speakers, we got to hang out. But so Shane said that he brought a primatologist up there that worked at a zoo, and he was looking at the nest, and he said chimpanzees that he worked with that make nests and gorillas that make nests, you can actually notice the weave patterns from different individuals. Like some individual primates chimps will make their nest a certain way, and then you can identify, oh, this was made by this one and this one was made by this one. And that was something this primatologist noticed in these nests that they found, that they were distinct patterns, that this one was made by these two here were made by this guy, and these two here were made by this guy. So it was kind of interesting.
So what they were saying is that nests have personalities that
Per-
match their creators.
Yeah, there's a certain pattern or way they weave them together that you can tell that.
Yeah. So we've got some questions. First of all, Squatch and Cowboy, I don't have that much money either, so I feel you, man. And Pyro says that Yosemite Sam is grounded this week. Well, he has been pretty mouthy. So Tracy reminds everyone to give this a thumbs up. Please like and share this video. Yes, this is not a new yoga pose. This was Scott saying, hey, get down on the floor and look cute. I don't command. I'm not a command pony. Ray is going back to the rocks you showed. How far were those rocks from that structure?
They were in the structure.
Okay.
They were actually laying in the structure. They actually he found the two rocks in the structure, like they had brought them there and left them when they left. Shane said in fact, I was looking at these rocks and they actually came out of water. So they have they're smooth, like they were wore down from water. And so he said it was 150 yards, something like that, to the creek down the hill. So that's probably where they came from. And there was no other on the side of the hill. There's no other rocks out of the ground. So that was a telltale sign that they were brought there, and they were actually in the nest.
Okay, so and then
so Ray just asked how far from the source material. So the rocks did come from like I said, about 150 yards from where the nests were. And these nests are, if you're familiar with,
there's a difference between a nest and a structure.
Right. These are nests.
But that big pile was a structure.
Was a nest.
Didn't look like the Olympic Peninsula or the Olympic Project nest.
What, the nest you were at?
No, the nest that the rocks were in.
The nests were in
structure. Oh my gosh, go back.
Okay, the nests were laying in the nest. They were just laying in here. That's where Shane found him.
Oh, and Shane found the rocks. I thought the rocks came from that big pile of stuff where we're going to send people.
No.
Out. Okay.
Shane found those rocks inside this nest right here. And they were about 150, what did I say, 150 yards down a hill. And if you're familiar with the Olympic Peninsula or any of the Cascades or the Blue Mountains, they're straight up and down. Just to give you an idea, I mean, there's no like, oh, we're just going to stroll up the hill. It is up the hill. It is straight up. So these nests were on the side of a hill that's like just vertical, and it's steep to get down and back up to the river.
Pyro, what? You're killing me.
What?
Go back to my picture.
Okay. What? My
pictures. He says, can we name that pose yodeling songbird?
Yes, we can. There we go. All right.
So I have a question for y'all.
It's official. It's yodeling songbird.
I have a question. So a big thing apparently amongst there are a lot of squatchers who are musically inclined. I'm one of many, but like Mark Marcel, guitar. I think Cliff is a guitarist. And sometimes they get together and they jam after events. So here's my thinking: how many of you are familiar with sax squatch, playing
the saxophone,
Rick rolling everyone that walks through the forest?
Yeah.
My question is, sax squatch has gone kind of viral on Facebook and YouTube and all that. What about Sasquatch playing an accordion? Because I could probably make that happen.
Yes, you could.
I could. I'm also thinking of starting a YouTube short series called Sun Salutations with Sassy Squatch.
There you go.
I think yoga with the Bigfoot might be good. Let's get back here. So let's go up and get some questions. We're totally disorganized tonight. Well, I am. I don't know about you. The nest, Donna. Is the nest for children to call adults or entertain? I think she's asking what the nests are for. What has Shane said they think those nests are for?
Okay, their guess, and this is only the best guess that we can come up with, is those nests were actually probably to sleep on, just to hang out. And something, well, Shane did comment, and he said this isn't fact. Okay, so like I said, we don't know. These are all just best guesses. That I'm gonna go back to the nest. Um,
And the yodeling songbird. By the
he's
way,
he
where
said,
do they know where we are here?
well, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay, fine.
But anyway, so um, they think that maybe they're built to give birth in, that the
Yes,
mothers
Ray.
lay down and give birth there.
I don't
Another
think they
kind of
lay down because you know what? Primates don't naturally lay
not
down to give
naturally,
birth. They squat.
they squat. But anyway, but another thing Shane thought of is because they pick these huckleberry bushes out of the ground while there's still huckleberries on them. So they literally can lay in there and eat huckleberries.
Okay, Donna has clarified. Thanks, Pyro, for getting that clarification. The
Mhm.
rocks found in the nest, are they used for children calling adults or for their entertainment?
That's interesting. That's a great question. I'm glad you asked it.
We don't know.
I don't know.
Don't know.
I really don't know. But
Hey,
that's
Lockbeard.
a great question though. We could, you know,
Do they have their own form of Morse code?
I don't know about that. But
Well, come on. It's common knowledge that in prison they come up with their own pipe
true.
banging language.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, if they're intelligent like we think they are, intelligent like human-ish intelligence,
Mhm.
they could use rock clacking as a form of communication.
They really could. Absolutely. Um so
Maybe they just do it because they know some idiot humans are hanging around. They're going to go say, let's see how much we can totally mess with them and
yeah.
bang on these rocks and make them think,
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
So they could use the rocks to call children or just to communicate with each other or as warnings. Another
maybe
one could be alarm signal. You know, I got a rock. Oh, I heard something.
like
Something's
tree
coming.
knocks.
Like tree knocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pyro says, oddly enough, I've heard clacking coming from a large dozer pile. Click on that or else I can't read it. Yeah, I was about to climb in there. I just heard someone mentioning the clacking.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yes, Donna, some tribes do clack their lips as a form of communication. That's actually called click.
Mm-hmm. So that's what.
I don't think that means anything, but I like doing it. It feels really good. Strangely satisfying.
Mm-hmm. So that's what we that's what we found at Squatch Fest.
And Scott, I mean, and Janice.
Of course, there's a whole bunch of more stories we got too, but
Janice is with us tonight. She's in the chat, and she is the one who gave us the pictures of that structure. And what we didn't show you is what was found there. But
mm-hmm.
This guy very nearly canceled our entire trip because of that.
Yeah.
And he can't because we're under contract.
Yeah. But I'm telling you,
it's very promising.
It's very promising because of what I saw, and I can't like I'm afraid to share it right now just because of
we don't want to share before we know something.
Yeah, before I know something, and we don't even know
if it's still there.
Those items are still there or whatever. So
if they're not, then we can show the photos and we can theorize all we want.
Yeah. But without knowing the actual dimensions of them, that's a problem. So that was Squatch Fest. At the end of Squatch Fest, we packed up. There was kind of a sad thing that happened, and I've got that here somewhere.
We were going to need to end quickly.
Oh, okay, I got it.
We got some data issues happening.
Yeah, so what did I do with the... Here we go. Here's the sad part that happened at Squatch Fest.
Well, Sasquatch gone. Police need your help looking for a pretty large inflatable Sasquatch that has gone missing. Organizers in Longview were tearing down at the end of Squatch Fest this weekend when someone stole their mascot. You can see him in these pictures here, greeting all of the visitors. Well, the Kelso Longview Chamber of Commerce says they unplugged it Saturday, let it to deflate, and headed inside for just a few minutes. And then they came back outside to pack it up, and he was gone. If you know where this friendly figure is, call the Longview Police.
So, if you happen to see an
inflatable squatch,
like a 20-foot tall inflatable squatch in somebody's yard,
call the Kelso Police.
Call the Kelso Police.
Disgusting.
I know, people are jerks. Anyway,
that's why we like
this is
Bigfoot.
sad. Yeah. So that happened. Somebody stole their squatch.
Those are expensive. That's probably $1,000 right there.
Probably.
With inflation, like 6,000.
Right. And what are you going to do with it?
It would be an awesome birthday party.
Yeah.
Thing. Anyway.
But it's not like there's many of them around. So
no, afraid not. Okay, you've got more pictures.
I do. So here's the thing. After Squatch Fest, we all headed down to a local Mexican restaurant / bar.
Mostly bar.
And we had one little hangout. I got some insider pictures. You ready? You want to see the insider pictures, folks? Here we go.
This is why you guys need to come, because then you can come with us.
Yeah. So this is us at the bar.
There's Todd Neese across from me.
So yeah, the guy over here, that's Todd Neese. If you don't know who he is, he's been in quite a few Bigfoot documentaries.
He produced A Flash of Beauty, right?
No, he was in it.
He was in A Flash of Beauty.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then of course you got Shane sitting next to Hannah. And all the rest of the Olympic Project crew was across from him over here.
And up on top.
Up on top, you got Cliff up there. You got Mark Marcel. But this guy here is one of my favorite dudes in the world.
That's Brandon Tennant.
Brandon
owner of
Tennant.
SasquatchPrints.com. Go buy your funny and beautiful. He's a brilliant Bigfoot artist, and he makes great T-shirts.
And this is what the face Hannah gets after she drinks a very large.
That was. It took me
sangria, right?
It took me 90 minutes to drink that, so I sipped it. I sipped it slowly.
Yeah.
I asked for a medium, and they brought me this tankard. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
It'll be the last alcohol I have for a long time, anyway.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. But here's what happened the next day. We actually got to go to the Oregon. The boring museum.
The North American Bigfoot Center.
Yeah, it's a boring museum. I just saying that because it's in Boring, Oregon. In fact, that's what Cliff was advertising in the first year. Come see the Boring Museum.
It's actually a very, very well done museum. We've been to several Bigfoot and cryptid museums, and his is actually one of the best. So kudos to Cliff. He put together a really very educational, very entertaining. It's actually, and this is what I appreciate. It's very organized and tidy, and it makes sense.
That's a thing too.
And it has one of our things in it, which is the most important.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. There's actually, if you go in there, there's a stump that was it's like a 4-inch around tree that was twisted off, and we cut the stump off, and it's actually in the museum because you can see the fingerprints around the.
Yeah,
you can't get your hand around it.
Yeah, but we got 2 awesome things from there too.
Yep. So we got a couple awesome things from there. I'll show you one of them.
Oh, I have to read something, don't I?
Well, that's coming up. Yes.
Okay.
So we got this here. This is actually a footprint cast that was done, if I remember right, 1996. I had to look. Yeah, but I was close in my head. It was 96. That was cast in the Blue Mountains, around the Freeman area, where all the Freeman film was taken. And this was actually cast by Jeff Meldrum himself. Here's the cast.
And that has a funky name to it, doesn't it?
What's that?
Doesn't it have a name?
Well, it was in the Blue Mountains.
It was just it was in our neck of the woods.
Yeah. So Jeff cast that several tracks there, actually. So he did Well, after the Freeman film happened, and after Paul Freeman had found a lot of footprint casts or footprints and cast them, Jeff surprised him. Just showed up and said, "Hey, I'm going to go check out the area," and they did, and lo and behold, boom, they found big footprints.
The other one.
But the other one,
You have some tree pictures.
what?
That next picture is a picture of something.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that. The next one I got at Cliff's museum is one I had before. Cliff actually gave it to me like,
It was 2019.
yeah, like 2019. Cliff, we were at a thing together, and Cliff had this cast, and I thought, oh man, that's so cool. I was wondering when he said, well, here, take it. He just gave it to me. And then a couple of years ago, we had it at a festival thing on display, and somebody jacked it from me. And then we were back here. I told Cliff about getting stolen, so he literally gave me another one. So awesome. So here's the cast. I know it looks weird, but I'll tell you what this is.
Do I read now?
So this is a cast of fingers. Now these fingers.
Shall I just read this?
Yes. Well, hold it. These fingers were. I want to show you first. Down here, this little. Oh wait, you're not seeing anything. Okay. Let me get rid of us completely here. Okay, so down here, that that yellow circle. Let me get my laser pointer working again. There it is. Okay, so down here you see a jar of Nutella.
They don't know it's Nutella. They can't tell.
You can. Well,
You're stealing my thunder.
I know it's a jar, and then Hannah.
Okay, can I read now?
Yes, you can read.
All right. In July of 2017, Tom Shea of the Northern Kentucky Bigfoot Research Group and another of his research partners, Steve Cornell, were working on a method to obtain Sasquatch hair samples from one of their local Bigfoot areas. Steve designed a prototype of a hair trap consisting of a large PVC pipe and sandpaper. Inside this device, I've been having trouble Englishing today. Inside this device was placed a jar of unopened Nutella, the sent straight from Satan chocolatey breakfast spread. I added that part. The jar had the lid screwed on and the tamper-proof seal still intact. The trap was strung up in a tree high above the ground and left for about a month. Upon returning, the trap was disturbed from its original location in the tree and left hanging in nearby branches, but with no hair trapped in it. The Nutella jar was found on the ground between 10 and 20 feet away and uphill from the trap. It had been unscrewed and opened with the lid left off. Now, you know, if a human had gotten a hold of that, they would have just packed it with them, because who is going to leave Nutella in the woods? I mean, I wouldn't.
So it had these fingers stuck in the Nutella.
Those indentations.
These indentations. So it stuck its finger in there, grabbed some, tasted it, probably didn't like it, threw it through.
What is wrong with Bigfoot?
Threw the jar down, and they actually cast in the Nutella the fingers that were in
Now,
it.
keep in mind, when they set this trap, the Nutella was unopened with the seal over the mouth of the jar still intact. So it was sealed, it was screwed shut, and it was stuck inside the PVC.
Right.
Why?
And they lined the inside of the PVC pipe with sandpaper to hope to catch hairs of something reaching in there and pulling the jar out.
I am just disappointed. Well, okay, so Bigfoot probably does not like refined sugar, which is a good thing. So try that with Vegemite. Yeah. Have you had Vegemite? You know what? They might like Vegemite.
They might. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
but
let us know how that works, Joe.
Yeah, Joe. That's a technique we should give a try. I mean, this was in Kentucky, and you know, that's something I've known about this, like when it happened, like in 2017, and I've always, in the back of my mind, told myself I'm going to buy some PVC pipe and do this, but I never have. I don't know why. It just skips my mind when it comes time to do it, I guess. But I'm definitely going to do that. But like we said, you can try some other stuff, like maybe some fruit, you know, apples in it.
Well, I'm thinking, you know, Vegemite is vegetable matter, and they might prefer that over refined sugar product because they are not Bigfoot, I'm assuming, is not, their bodies are not violated by the cane industry.
Oh, Joe said,
Mark Dogman
Dogman,
from
that's what
Australia
it
sent me some. He's trying to kill you, man.
I've
What'd you do to
had
him?
Vegemite. I got some Australian friends, and
That's
they live on that stuff. It is nasty.
It's like that Hawaiian stuff. What's that? Poi.
Poi. Yeah.
Yes, it is. But see,
or what's the people, the
kimchi?
no, kimchi's not good either, but a gefilte fish up there in
No, lutefisk.
lutefisk. That's the word I was looking for.
Gefilte fish is right up there with that too. And I'm Jewish. I can say that stuff's. Of course, I'm a Jewish girl that eats bacon. So there we are.
So anyway, so
yes, he does spread it on toast. Yeah,
yep.
They're just weird.
Yep. So
last picture
was kind of fun.
Vitamita Vegemin.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite episodes because you know that stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Ray.
It was Vitamita Vegemin. And by the end of it, she couldn't get that out of her mouth because you know what that stuff was. There was nothing vitamin-ish about it.
So, okay. So last thing.
I was probably stronger than my sangria.
This is a lot of fun. Is Cliff Barackman at the Bigfoot Museum. He has a door, and why won't it flip? There you go. And he lets what he calls Bigfoot dignitaries. I don't consider myself that, but anyway, you get to sign the door. So I signed the door, and actually right above me is Roger. A guy, I can never say his last name. It's huge.
The guy
from Spain who's doing a book on who came and interviewed a whole bunch of us. But anyway, I found his name, and so I signed underneath his. But right above his, if you look close, there's a big signature there, and it says Bobcat Goldthwait. Little known fact: if you're old like me, you know who Bobcat Goldthwait was. He was a comedian back in the, I don't know, early 80s, probably. He got on stage, and his thing was he just basically screamed at you. It was fun. He was in all the Police Academy movies too. But a lot of people don't know now, Bobcat Goldthwait is a director, and he directs a lot of Bigfoot documentaries, encrypted type stuff. And so that's why I saw his name there. I'm like, oh, wow.
That's his fangirl face there.
That's my fangirl face.
Yeah. Yeah, William says that Bigfoot over where he is, which is what, Kentucky?
Mm-hmm.
They love corn mash from Shine. I imagine they do.
Ooh, not bad, not bad. Oh, man. Yeah, and Scotch and Cowboy said Willow Creek. There's a movie, Willow Creek. Bobcat Goldthwait directed that. Yep, absolutely. So, corn mash. I don't make moonshine, so I don't know where to get that. But
I just have a brand new bag of cornmeal.
We could make our own mash.
Yeah, I'm not.
We could definitely do that.
All
so
right.
Anyway,
have we bored these people long enough for one night?
We probably have. So any questions about any of the stuff we talked about tonight? So we're doing all right. I'm trying to see how much time we got left. We got about 10 minutes left, and we got like one bar. I'm looking at the thing is like
crossing our fingers so we keep the data stream going.
Yeah.
Just remember, Patreons, our Friday Night Live will actually be our first Friday will be the first Tuesday. So give us a few extra days to get through this show, to get out of the internet hole. And we will have a guest in the studio for you to interact with. That just sounds weird. For you to actually talk to.
In the studio?
Voice to voice in the studio. And we will have that up.
With us.
Yes, dear. Who else would they be? Anyway, anyway, we will have a guest for you to chat with, and we're thinking it could be Greg Roberts.
Yeah. So
we'll see him tomorrow.
So a little thing tomorrow, if you want to catch us, we're going and you're anywhere near us, we'll be in Eugene at the Eugene Boat and Sportsman Show. It's February 3rd through the 5th. I can't remember. I can't even see those, but the hours tomorrow.
It starts at noon tomorrow, goes till 9 p.m. Saturday is 10 to 8, and Sunday is 10 to 5.
Okay,
so please bring me. I drink Americanos with lots of heavy cream. He drinks Mocha Breve with an extra shot. Those are really, really long days.
Yeah. So we're going to be there with our buddy, the 10-foot animatronic Bigfoot, and we'll be sharing Squatch with people.
And you're doing some kind of something with Greg, or are you just going to work that out on the fly?
I think we're going to work that out on the fly. We're supposed to speak tomorrow, but I don't know when and where or what we're even doing. We're just going to make it up. So there's that. So these sportsman shows, they go from Eugene, and the next weekend will be in Roseburg, and then skip a week.
After Roseburg, there is a week off. However, if you are in the Grants Pass, and we don't have a poster for it. You didn't put the poster up for it.
I didn't.
But if you were in the Grants Pass, Medford, Oregon area, on Friday, there it is. Friday, February 17th at 6 p.m. we will be having a Bigfoot town hall at Wild River Pizza. You need to actually share it.
I did.
Oh, Wild River Pizza and Brewery in Cave Junction, February 17th, 2023, 6 p.m. Bigfoot Town Hall meeting. We just threw this up. We threw it together. We want to thank Rick at Bigfoot Print and Copy in Cave Junction for helping us sponsor this, meaning that he called the restaurant. He got us a place for us to do it. We threw it up on Facebook, and within 24 hours, how many people are going?
Like 17 or so on Facebook anyway.
So if you're in the Southern Oregon area and you want to join us, please do. We would love to see you.
So we love doing these town hall meetings. We love listening to people's stories and sharing Bigfoot with people.
Anyway.
So there's that. And then
the next weekend.
The next weekend after that will be in Medford, Oregon, and then Anderson, California.
We're coming for you, Michelle and Steve.
Yep. Michelle and Steve, we are coming to your area.
And
then we're going to be at the Falk Monster Fest April 19th or April 29th. I can't read either.
It's been a long day.
Lyle Blackburn is going to be there. Jerry Heston, if I said that right. Chester Moore. If you ever watched these guys, if you ever watched the Southern Fried Bigfoot, all these people are in that. Jeff Stewart and myself are going to be speaking there at the
Falk Monster Festival.
And that's that.
So
catch up on our chats here. Uncle Bones, howdy.
Yes, please. What was the big research find item to go see at the conference? Let's ask Donna.
The big research find item. This year, nothing really. I mean, last year they had the nest. They actually had one of the nests. Actually, they had that nest Hannah was posing in front of there.
So,
but this year, now here's the thing with Bigfoot research. There's not like tremendously mighty super fine finds every year.
No.
But quite possibly,
we may have something.
We may have one coming.
We have not shown you the picture.
Yeah.
For very good reason, because.
And thank you, Janice.
Thank you, Janice, for contributing that. As soon as we know something, we will have it on here. Mm-hmm. Uncle Bones, you did miss everything. You're just going to have to watch it on replay.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Ray
Harward said Gatlinburg. No, we are not going to Gatlinburg. We were going to go out to Tennessee, but it was scheduled at the exact same time as the Falk thing, and on.
And then we actually after Falk we got to get back here because we're going to Beachfoot, which which is a
It's a researcher meetup on
researcher
the Oregon coast.
invite only Oregon Coast thing, and then, but we're going to be trying to get to Spokane and a couple other ones.
Yeah, we were going to be in Pigeon Forge if they were not at the same time as the Falk Festival. We were definitely going to be there. We'll get there eventually. I would love to see Tennessee. I really would.
Yeah, we were actually scheduled to be at the Pigeon Forge, but what happened was I had scheduled them and they were the same time as Falk, and then they had to cancel theirs because they lost their venue and they had to reschedule. So I said, hey, well, if you're going to reschedule that, I'm going to okay Falk. So I said, I'm going. So we talked to Craig and got locked in at Falk, and then they rescheduled, but they scheduled for the same date. So
it was a little messy.
It was a messy thing. So,
you know, this guy here wishes he could be at all the festivals all at the same time.
Yeah, but there's only one of me. So
if anyone has got the secrets to the multiverse, we could call all of his multiverse selves in.
So anyway, that's what happened to Pigeon Forge. So
we'll get there eventually. And hopefully Pigeon Forge will learn that it's, they have like 572 speakers all booked into one day.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, that's all we have for you. Do we need to try to sell them anything? Please go to squatchamerica.com, sign up for our newsletter if you haven't. Buy your branded t-shirts. We're actually almost out of t-shirts and we're just one show into this. So
yeah, I know.
Buy your branded t-shirts, buy your merch, buy stuff, support us, join us on Patreon. You can get into Patreon for $5 a month. Patreon.com/SquatchAmerica. And you too can be part of our First Friday, or as this month is, First Tuesday chats with special guests.
Yeah. So, with that said, between here and Falk, we have a month or 2 month.
We have about 7 weeks.
About 7 weeks. We're headed to Texas. We're headed to Texas, Joe. Just saying, we're going to be there for like
a little while,
5 weeks. Just saying, Joe. All right. So, any more last call?
Uncle Bones says the dragonflies in Alaska are as big as or bigger than the one on my hat. I believe you. Because you know what? Have you seen the flies in Maine?
Yeah. Yeah. I spent some time in Alaska too. The mosquitoes are about that big too. So.
Yeah.
So Joe says, I'm beginning to wonder. Yeah, we will be in touch, buddy. I'll give you some dates and where we're going to be, and you can pick and choose. And I want to get together and we can do an episode together or something on both our channels, and go out and find Squatch too.
All right. So as always, go to our stuff.
Okay.
So thank you for watching and subscribing and doing all those things. Of course, our job is to investigate the unexplained.
Not to explain the uninvestigated.
So until next week, you guys keep watching.
And we'll keep squatching.
Bye.
Go out and find Bigfoot. And push the button, Scott.